Grazie. Prima di tutto, molto grazie a voi. Come lo finito la storia adesso, mi ha fatto molto piacere che lo vedo che sia intentato, understood, I was understood. We were understood in what we did, which is one of the points. Yes. I would like to take you again to Innsbruck in this journey, and as it was so well done, this analysis, I try to focus on some points and get not so much into detail. Innsbruck is a town in the mountains, and the spot where we will be getting down now from Google Earth is part of the town which is not visited generally when someone visits Innsbruck. It is the eastern fringe of the town, a suburban area, and it's a place in Innsbruck where you won't find anybody, or hardly anyone in Innsbruck, who does not live there, who would like to move there to live. Despite of that, the people who live there, as we could find out, and surprisingly for us, love to live there. I myself, I am from Innsbruck, and in the 18 years I grew up there, I was there in this part of the town maybe 5 or 6 times, and I was there because I had a school friend who lived there. Otherwise I would not have been there. So the sense of where to live and how to live is a different one than the one which is offered there. This view now brings us right into the center of this part of the town, which is called the Villaggio Olimpico, and which was built and is now working as a social housing quarter. A social housing quarter of the 70s, of the 60s, which now after 20-30 years, there's a turn of generation in the inhabitants, and there are problems which then were not considered to be problems, are very evident at the moment. The problem of monofunctional, the problem of segregation, of missing links, various missing links in infrastructure, the problems of being a sleeping town and not a part of the town with a working urban fabric like the rest of the town. But we arrived, we landed, and we see the two protagonists of this story. One protagonist is the piazza, the place, this urban place, and the other one are the people there. But let's have a close look to the neighborhood. We did this with a photographer, and the following images of this photo essay shows you it's a strange place, and it's a place that could be everywhere. Maybe everywhere in Europe, I guess almost every town has these kind of areas, suburbias, which have this nobler sense of expression. Maybe it could even be somewhere else. Got stuck. Could be Italy maybe somewhere. Or in China, I don't know if you can see these images. But there's also a certain poetry to it, which is offered to one and a second view. There are wide open spaces, there are green spaces, every apartment has a lot of light, has a certain quality to it. But if I would now think afterwards of building this of the headline of this project, then I would give it this one. The goal was that a building generates a public square, and the square generates public life in the quarter. If I would ask, I would be asked of the guidelines to achieve that, then this would be the 5 major one. To network means to connect things that were not still connected. To intensify places to be reached which were not reached before. The plot was fenced off. It was a place which could not be penetrated, and after the project one could have shortcuts one could not do before. One could reach places one could not reach before on the pedestrian level. The urban space is built and has to be put into function. One notion of it is that every entrance into the building is through passing the urban space. To differentiate would be the second aim. In collaboration with the landscape planner, we thought and we looked over the parts which are across our building borders and the qualities of the spaces. And we tried to give them special qualities. Up to now they were green and more or less the same quality on all the surrounding. We now differentiated them. That to the one side there is a playground for football, on the other side there is a park, on one side there is a little wood, on the other side there is a playground for designated for the kindergarten. Densification, of course, is an issue, and for an architect, this is the tool we work with. And in this case, it didn't mean to do the prima donna of the surrounding, but to play a convincing role in the ensemble, to understand oneself as being part of the whole thing. And the whole thing is a quarter of the 70s and 60s. So that means to use this scale